Welcome back. I am glad you are here. I want to talk today about something that does not get enough attention in how we handle temptation, the danger of staying too long. We spend a lot of time talking about the moment of falling, the decision, the act, but not much time talking about what happens in the days and hours before that moment, the quiet drift, the slow lean, the thing I want to call lingering. And I want to walk through two stories from scripture that, when you put them side by side, start to look like a very consistent warning, not a coincidence, a pattern. The first story is Eve, the second is David. And what connects them is not just that they sinned, it is how they got there. Genesis 3-6. The woman saw that the tree was good for food, pleasant to the eye, and desirable for wisdom. She took and ate. Now most of us read that and hear one moment, like she was walking, saw a fruit, grabbed it, and that was the fall of humanity. But I want to slow that down. Look at the language. Good for food, pleasant to the eye, desirable for wisdom. That is not a snap judgment. That is a developed opinion. You do not build a full aesthetic and philosophical case for a piece of fruit in 3 seconds. That is a verdict that took time. Repeated observation, returning visits. Eve had been near that tree before, more than once. And here is what I find so instructive about the serpent's timing. Genesis 3-1 tells us the serpent was crafty, cunning, shrewd, and the craftiness was not just in what he said. It was in when he showed up. He did not come to Eve on the day she walked past the tree and kept moving. He waited. He came when she was already in a posture of curiosity, when the fruit had already started to look a certain way to her, when the distance between her and the tree had already shortened. Temptation rarely kicks the door open. It waits for you to slow down near it. The serpent asked one question: did God really say? And by the time he asked it, Eve was already in a mental conversation that she had probably been having with herself for days. He just gave that conversation a voice. Now take that same pattern and move it forward several centuries. 2 Samuel chapter 11. It was the season when kings go to war. David sent Joab, sent the army, stayed in Jerusalem. And one evening he got up from his bed, walked onto his rooftop, and from the rooftop he saw a woman bathing. The text says she was beautiful. Now let me stop there for a second. Most of us read the story and the danger feels like it starts when David sends for Bathsheba. But look again, it starts on the roof. He saw her. He did not look away. He sent someone to find out who she was. He was told she was the wife of Uriah the Hittite. And then, even after he had that information, he still sent messengers to bring her to him. That progression, seeing, inquiring, being warned, proceeding anyway. That is not impulsive behavior. That is someone who had been standing near the edge long enough that the edge started to feel negotiable. And I want to point to something that often gets overlooked. The rooftop. Why was David on the roof in the first place? His men were at war. He should have been at war. He was already somewhere he was not supposed to be. And idleness created the conditions for what followed. The roof was his version of circling the tree. He was not doing anything overtly sinful yet. He was just there, with nothing anchoring his gaze, with nothing directing his attention, available to see what he should not have been in a position to see. Proverbs 4:25 says, "Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you." David had no fixed gaze that evening. And a man without a fixed gaze is a man whose eyes will settle somewhere on their own. So here is what I want us to see. Eve and David, one in a garden, one on a rooftop. Different centuries, different contexts, different specifics, but the same architecture of failure. Both of them were somewhere that put them in extended contact with something they should not have. Both of them lingered. Both of them entertained. Both of them built a case inside their own heads before the external decision was ever made. And by the time the moment of choice arrived, they had already been softened by proximity. James 1:14-15 describes it like this: "Each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own desire and enticed. Then after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death." Conceived. That word is intentional. Conception requires time, it requires proximity, it requires conditions. It does not happen in a moment. It happens in a season of repeated closeness to the wrong thing. And I want to say something plainly. Some of us are not in a moment of temptation. We are in a season of proximity. We are not doing the thing, but we keep going back near it. We keep giving it a look. We keep lingering. We keep building the internal argument. And we think because we have not acted, we are still in safe territory. But the seed is already in the ground, and we have been watering it. I am not going to stand too far away from this, because I know what it is to tell yourself you are not there for the thing while being very close to the thing. I know what it is to pick something up and call it research, to go somewhere and call it discernment, to maintain a conversation and call it ministry, all while knowing in a part of your heart that you are not fully listening to, that you are circling. And what I have learned is that the longer you circle, the more the thing starts to look reasonable. The more you rehearse the proximity, the more the case for crossing builds itself without you consciously building it. That is what I mean when I say lingering is the danger, not just the act, the season before the act. Psalm 1 opens with this: "Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers." Walk, stand, sit. That progression is not accidental. The psalmist is describing exactly what we have been talking about. It starts with walking in a certain direction, then standing, then sitting. And the warning is not just about where you sit, it is about which direction you first started walking. So what does this mean practically? It means some exits need to happen sooner than feels necessary. Not when the fruit is in your hand, not even when you are circling the tree, before you are close enough for it to start looking good. Job understood this. He said in Job 31:1, "I made a covenant with my eyes." He did not wait for the situation. He made the agreement before the situation arose. He decided in advance what his gaze was allowed to settle on. That is wisdom that does not rely on willpower in the moment, because willpower in the moment is already late. The moment you are relying on willpower, you are already close enough for the fruit to look good. Preemptive holiness, decided before the serpent arrives, covenanted before the evening walk on the roof. Here is what I want to leave you with today. The enemy rarely forces anything. He waits, he is patient, he watches where your gaze is settling, and he shows up once you have already done most of the convincing yourself. Eve was near the tree before the serpent spoke. David was on the roof before he saw anything. The conditions were already built before the decision came. So pay attention to your positions, not just your actions. Where are you placing yourself? What are you walking near? What are you giving repeated access to your eyes, your time, your attention? Because some fruit looks better the longer you look at it. And the longer you look, the more the question, "Did God really say?" becomes something you are actually entertaining rather than something you know the answer to. Proverbs 4:15, "Avoid it, do not travel on it, turn from it and go on your way." Not slow down, not observe carefully, not check the label. Turn from it and go on your way. Thank you for listening. I will see you.